In this video, I'm going to help you to play the riff part from Guitar Revolution. Now, Guitar Revolution is made up out of 4 parts. The riff part that we're learning here, which animates to red in the official video. The arpeggio part, which animates to green in the official video. The melody part that turns blue, and the advanced part that turns yellow. Now, the riff part that we're learning here is a really great place to start. Even if you're moving on to the melody or the arpeggio. It's the most crucial part of the piece, really. It continues throughout the whole thing. The piece actually begins with it as well. So whatever you're going on to learn, or whether you're just sticking with this, you've really started in the right place, because it will give you a good feel for the whole piece, because ultimately it's the fundamental foundations of what's going on. So Guitar Revolution is split into 3 distinct sections. We've got the main theme, then we have a middle section, and then we have a variation on the main theme. Now those sections are conveniently broken up with 1 bar spaces of silence of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in, and then say we're going into the variation, the main theme. Now, when we're looking at the riff part, the main theme sounds like this. So that's the main theme that we'd loop around 4 times. Then we would have a 1 bar break. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we would go into the middle section, which is this chord played in this pattern. And we actually play that pattern 16 times, but don't be put off. Play through the video and get comfortable with that. We don't want to be counting 16 bars. That's pretty tough. So just feel it. And also on the day, I'll be there to point for when we're actually coming out and moving to the next section. So after playing that 16 times, we finish on that first note of the bar again. 2, 3, 4. Then we go into the variation of the main theme. Now, we're learning the riff part here, and what's really convenient about that is the variation of the main theme is actually exactly the same as the main theme. Although I expected it to be a little faster as we build up, but it's exactly the same. So we play this 5 times. Once you played that 5 times, we finish on that first note of the bar to finish the whole piece. In the next section of the video, I'm going to explain the real nitty-gritty of how we play each part. Okay, so looking at the main theme first of all, it's relatively simple to play. It's using 3 sort of positions, almost like chords, but we're just bouncing between 2 notes. Only ever using 1 finger, and then we've got a little melody section in between there. So looking at that first shape, right at the beginning of the bar, we've got our first finger on the 2nd fret. Now, if you're an absolute beginner and wondering what a fret is, there's these metal lines going down here, so we can count 1, 2. And we're going to be working on the A string, which is the 2nd string down here. So we just squeeze or pinch the note here. So we're on the A string. And then underneath that, we have a D string, and we're going to alternate between those 2 notes. Now, I tend to use my fingers for playing this, but it works equally well with a plectrum, so whatever you're comfortable with. So, we're fretting that note on the 2nd fret on the A string. We've got an open D, and we literally just alternate between the 2. A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, like that. But it's really helpful to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and going to the D on the and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We play that twice, 2 bars. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4. It's really helpful if you can pronounce that first beat as well. Okay, then we move over to the 4th fret on the D string for our second shape. So I'm using my third finger on that D string, 1, 2, 3, down to D, E, A, D, on the 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I pinch there, hold that note so it's fretted, and we're still working between the A and the D string, but now the A string is open. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm doing it for 2 bars again, just the same as before. So far, then we go to our little basic melody that sort of breaks up the riff here. So we play an open G, 4th fret on the D, which we've already been playing in our second little shape, then an open D, and then the 2nd fret on the D with our first finger. So then that little melody sounds like this. So we're just working on beats there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So far. Then we move to our final shape in the riff, the main theme. With your second finger, if you put it on the 3rd fret on the E string, 1, 2, 3, so we're up here, and we're playing between the E and that D string. So no longer working with strings that are close together, we're skipping a string here, going between the E and the D. So exactly the same rhythm, we're working with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that D string is on that and again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we play that for 3 times instead of the 2 times that we've been working with the other chords. So 1, 2, 2, 3, and then we repeat again. So in its entirety. Back to the beginning. We do that 4 times in the main theme. Then finally we come to a stop. 2, 3, 4. Then we move to the middle section, which is just 1 chord, but our first chord with 2 fingers. Up to you what fingers you use, but as long as you use the same ones each time, otherwise you're having to relearn it. So I'm using my first finger and second finger on the B string, 3rd fret, second finger on the D string on the 4th fret. We're going to be playing the D, G, and B. So second finger, 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the D, open G, and then 3rd fret on the B, 1, 2, 3. And we're playing a very distinct rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Playing strings D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G. D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And we play that 16 times. Now you don't have to count for 16 bars or 16 cycles. You can just feel it. And on the day, of course, I'll be there to point when we're moving to the next section. So when we come to the stop, same again, we can just finish on that first note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then we go into the variation on the main theme. But fortunately for us guys playing the riff, the variation is actually exactly the same as the main theme. So we play this again. Now we play that 5 times this time rather than the 4 that we played when we were working through the main theme section, the first section, and then we finish finally on the note here, which is the first note from the bar, 2nd fret on the A string, and that's the piece. I hope you enjoy it.